So, Sox, you've been nominated for a Juno one more time. How are you feeling about it?
Awesome. Never gets old, man. Never, ever gets old. It feels like the first time, and the first time we were nominated was for my record Still Caught Up, and I believe that was 95 in Hamilton. So if you do the math, stars are aligning 20 years later. It's really cool, man. And to be, to have the guys I work with on the record getting nominated in other in the same category and a part of it, it's just like, okay, cool. You know what? It's like that Dr. Dre thing. He take his 7-10 years to go back and just fix this, work with this, bring some new talent in, get to know keep the ear to the street, and be a part of it instead of just lock yourself in a room and bah humbug everything that's new. So embracing all of that seems to be paying off. It's fun. It's a really good time.
You've had so much longevity in a genre that, a lot of stuff is like of the moment and what's happening now and what's hip and what's current and what's cool right this minute.
Yeah.
So it must feel really good to have a kind of longevity where even after 20 years, you're still being nominated for Junos.
Absolutely. That's my point. It's like comparing it to, D'Angelo did he took his time where he just dropped a new record. I'm a big fan of it. His last one was 2001, so he's doing his 15-year thing. Dr. Dre, obviously everybody knows, as I mentioned. But let's go back. Quincy Jones making millions with Frank Sinatra, and then come back in his 40s and beat up the Grammys with Michael Jackson in the 80s. And it's just like, okay, so this is possible. And I read their biographies and I see how they keep themselves busy and new and fresh, and I try to apply that to my life as much as I can without forcing it. Try to keep it organic, and it's just like, okay, so it seems that you can. Even if you get some grays in the beard, you might just have to change the style a bit. Get a new hat. Keep the fashion fresh. Bring your wife to the events because she's your biggest supporter. You know what I mean? Yeah. And show that you're growing as a man, but you're also still intertwined and integral in what's happening in fresh hip-hop music, urban music, or just music as a whole.
So what does the creative process look like for you? Where does it start? Is it a beat? Is it a lyric? Is it the music? How does your creative process work?
Well, it's interesting. It's especially a question coming from the SOCAN team because it is a part of a writer's state of mind. And I just got to say it's any way and every way. But for me, specifically, I find that good music, like just instrumental music, get the ideas flowing, whether I produce it or whether Boy Wonder produce it or whether Rich Kid produce it or Snaz and a bunch of guys I work with, Tone Mason, all of them have done great work, Toronto producers. But the music, hearing the beat evokes rhythmic poetry to me. So it's like, okay, boom, I think that song gives me that concept or that music gives me that concept and I fly with it. But then when I first started, it was different. I'd write the concept down, the song title, everything, and then go find the music for it. So it's evolved over time. I think now maybe I'm just lazy. I just want to sit there, hear something that's amazing, and be like, oh, that's it, and just start writing, and it's done in a couple hours because you're so motivated. But there are other artists who have done it the opposite way, like I used to do. Gangstar Guru, may he rest in peace, would do it the same way. Concepts, titles, and then DJ Premier would say, okay, boom, here's the beat for that. Here's the beat for that. Here's the beat for that. And that can be just as productive. But for me, I think, man, I just like, after all this time, it's like working better, not harder, seems to be the way. And I don't take all the weight on my shoulders as a producer 100%. I can't claim that. That's why I mentioned guys like Rich Kid and Snaz and Millennius and Attic and Boy Wonder and a lot of guys, young guys coming up, 40 obviously. When they do stuff, it just gives you so many great ideas, and it's just like, okay, well, I just need to sit back and write this. And I know that's one reason why our young brother Drizzy just feels so good about his music, because he has a strong team helping him with that.
Yeah, at SOCAN, when we look at the songwriting credits for songs in the hip hop genre, there's like 20 names.
That's right.
Everybody's like on that. Everybody has their little bit to do in it. So it's really a collaborative art form.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. You get a keyboardist because he's in there, and You know, I can't play fluently like that. I'm like two-finger Tony on the keyboard. So I'll call a Joel Joseph in, or somebody who's played with Nelly Furtado and does a lot of work with me to do that, to play that lush work. I know that 40 is classically trained as well, and that helps him out with a lot of his production. And then you get guys in who are drum programmers, and then, you know, you get this guy who wrote the hook, and then this guy who wrote all the background vocals for the hook, and all of a sudden the list gets long, like you're looking at a pop record. You know, it's not like hip hop in '94 where it's like, here's the rapper, here's the producer, 2 names, and that's it. But it's cool that way because it's helped the music to get larger, wider, more enriched, reach a larger crowd of folk. Because I've only mentioned hip hop artists, but we also pull a lot of you know, rock guitarists and musicians in to bring that other feel.
And it keeps a lot of musicians employed.
Absolutely. Because, you know, we'll pay minimum musician rate, and if they're our favorite guys, it's like, okay, here's a little more icing on the cake, because you help, you know, you pushed this record over the top and made it more than what we could have ever aspired to it to be.
So what are you up to between now and when the Junos happen on March 15th?
Oh, there's a lot. I'm getting ready for the next EP. Obviously, the first one we're nominated for is the Imani EP, and we're setting up for the next EP, and all of this music will come together to be the season 2 album. So it's just a cool way to find a way to leak music and keep people involved with it as it's growing organically, rather than just slap them with, you know, 12 songs at once. Doesn't necessarily work the same way these days. So that's keeping me busy, and we got you know, picked to go play South by Southwest. So, and that's just a couple days after the Junos. So we're gonna be out there, and just a lot of work between now and then getting ready for the summer, because we'd love to be able to tour and hit a lot of the festivals in the summer, and then maybe peak at Frosh Week. That's what we always used to hope for, peaking at Frosh Week, you know. You know, get the university not only the budget but the crowd, and get it going. So it's a very important time of the year, not only for the accolades and the award season, but getting everything ready for the summer.
Great. Thanks so much and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.